Disney sucks. They won't stop sucking. They're like Miley Cyrus. They're contractually obligated to suck. It's by law they have to suck. It's a legal issue. They should be. They really should relabel to Missed Opportunities LLC. They really should. It's starting to get a little annoying now. I'm not a huge super fan of most of these Marvel villains that MCU is using. What, MCU? Taskmaster. As I understand, the Taskmaster, and some stuff that I've read, like I said, I'm not a huge super fan, but what I've read about Taskmaster is that his power set allows him to absorb the information of everybody who he ever comes across, so that he gets the tasks. You know, he can fight people. Every one thing he sees, he can learn immediately. By the way, male of the dangly bitch genitalia. What bothers me is that they keep doing this. It's not just this one series. It's every single series. They keep doing this. And let me go back. Disney had the perfect opportunity. Disney, you're so into inclusion and whatever, islamophobia, killers, agenda first politics, whatever. And it's becoming very clear what that agenda is, but that's for another video. This particular one, you had the perfect opportunity to create the first, or one of the first, handicapped, disabled, handicapable, whatever you want to call it, supervillain. Your supervillain, Taskmaster, has Alzheimer's. From what I understand, what I've researched, like I said, I'm not super familiar with this character, and read the comic books, I didn't even know who he was. But from what I've read, what I understand, he can mimic whatever skill set, but when he learns the skill set, he forgets something. Like, he's got a very limited hard drive, and he has to keep erasing things in order to, learn something new, forget something old. That's cool and all. So you could learn how to build a nuclear bomb, but you'll also forget your wife's face. That's tragic. That is so ridiculously tragic. I could learn all of the culinary arts, but then I forget my, I'd forget my family's name. That's horrible. That's the tragic supervillain that they could have gone with. A dude who knows what's at stake, and then give him a reason or something, and not just a raw monster. And it's come out, that the guy, the dude, the stunt man who played Taskmaster, it was a guy. And then they green screened on a lady's head, and the shoulders didn't match up, and it was real wonky, and obvious that it was done for identity politics. They had so much opportunity, and Disney has done this, and I'll mention this in a minute. Disney, what they try to do is they go woke, and they miss their opportunity because they had to force this agenda. And because they forced this agenda to pander to someone else, they actually made it worse than it was originally. Before, it could have just, upset a few people. Somebody could have gotten offended. 4 people. So what they did was they took this male character, male supervillain, could have been the male bad guy that Disney needs in a MCU movie. They took the male character out and replaced it with a female, putting the woman in a role of servitude to another man. How is this better, Disney? Exact same thing. Example. Disney did this with the live-action remake of Lady and the Tramp. Of course, they race and gender swap everybody, and completely cucked out the dad. Jim was like a banker in the original, and now he's an artist in the new one. The baby was a boy in the original, and now it's a girl. And you know, I nostalgia member berries for the scene where Jim freaked out about it's a boy, it's a doctor, it's a boy. That was the line in the movie, and it was funny. But the scene with the Siamese cats, so they do this all the time, and especially in Lady and the Tramp. The Siamese cats were offensive to the Chinese audience, so what do? Let's throw in some other racial stereotypes. Ghetto black people. That won't offend anyone. Okay, now you've offended everyone, especially white people. Go figure. I don't know. Disney needs to stop pandering. Pander Bear. Disney is suffering from Pander Bear syndrome, and we all lose as a result. I would have been really cool to see just the Black Widow. The Black Widow story is tragic. So then you could have pulled all these other tragic characters together, and they all would have been tragic together. And that would have made for a better movie, instead of knowing full well that Black Widow's going to die, and then a bunch of agenda vomit. And that complete turnip as the Red Guardian. Jump cut. Another missed opportunity at Disney is you brought in the Skrulls. You have shapeshifters. If you're going to write yourself out of a corner using multiverse and time travel, you should also use the shapeshifters. That would have been a big, kick in the knackers right there. Black Widow was a Skrull. But no, because you're completely bankrupt to the point where you can't even write yourself out of your own corner using the easy stress cards that you created yourself. Middle finger to Disney.